it's Liz Yuille, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today's project is this one, and it's a very special project because it uses two of the brand spanking new, soon to be released, as in today, Sale-a-Bration second release items. So here is the second release Sale-a-Bration leaflet. And it's got the original items in the front, and then it's got the 4 new items, which are the Eclectic Expressions stamps, which are yellow rubber. Yellow rubber? Where did I get yellow from? Red rubber. They're gorgeous. I can't wait to get my hands on making some projects with those. I have got them. Then we've got the gorgeous Springtime Foils Specialty Designer Series paper, and I've got a video on that coming. Then we've got this lovely stamp set, which we're going to be using today, plus the embossing folder. Now that comes as a bundle. So you get, and that's why I say it's 2 items from the catalogue, you get the basket and you get the Textured Impressions embossing folder. Now this is going to be in the annual catalogue, the 2018-2019 annual catalogue. The stamp set won't be, but the Textured Impressions embossing folder will be. So you can get it now for free, or you can wait until June and spend money on it. I know which I would do. Well, I know which one I've done. So, lovely bundle. It's a £90 qualifying purchase, because obviously you're getting 2 items, but it is divine. And this is the project that I've made today. And we're going to make a slightly different version, very similar, but very slightly different version on camera. So let's have a go. Right, okay, so I've already run my pink pirouette through the Big Shop, and it's, as you can see, it is, I hope you can see, can I get the light on it? Pretty much, you can see how beautiful that basket weave is. Now, I am going to stick this on straight away because it's quite a rough surface at the back. You need a reasonable amount of adhesive, and I want to get it properly stuck before I build my card up. And I'm hoping the lighting's going to last, because when I started filming, it was sunny and I can just see enormous grey clouds coming. If I need to turn on my little desk light, I will do so. But anyway, so I'm using Tombow glue, the multi-purpose glue, and I'm using this so that I can get onto the raised bits, which obviously on the front are dense, but I'm going to put a reasonable covering across the whole of the back of the cardstock. This is my usual kind of first layer mat, so it's 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, or 14 1/4 by 9 3/4 if you're into the metric. The dimensions will be on my blog. Right, I'm going to put this under my board just to make sure that it's well and truly glued by the time we put it all together. I have already stamped onto shimmery white cardstock the big basket image, just so that the Memento ink is dry, and it is Memento ink because I'm going to use blends. I've also fussy cut it out because there is a limited amount of fussy cutting that anyone really wants to watch. So because I'm using the blends, as I say, I've used Memento ink. I have also already coloured just the flowers, and that's where we're stepping this one up very slightly from the original, because we're going to do 2 layers. So to do the basket, I have to say I was fairly inaccurate on this. I just put a bit of dark crumb cake here and there round the handle and on the base, purely so that there was some shadow, but really life is quite short when it comes to this, so you know, I didn't go mad. I just added a bit of extra colour so that it was not flat, but obviously you could spend a little bit more time picking out the bits that would necessarily be in shadow. You could also add the, I'm going to add the light for a start. You could also add a bit of the bronze, which although it's been made for flesh tones, because it's a darker brown, would be quite a good addition to your shading. And then with the crumb cake light, so that was the crumb cake dark, I'm just going to colour in the rest of the basket. Now, what I would say when it comes to fussy cutting, I found it easier to cut this bit out first, because when you're cutting out the handle, to have the handle outside of the handle already cut means that you're cutting something that is very wispy. Whereas if you cut the inside first, you get it's easier because you're not working in a restricted space. And if you can hear a helicopter flying overhead, that's because there's a helicopter flying overhead. We live near an RAF base, so it depends on which direction they're flying as to whether we hear them or not. But having spent quite a lot of my adult life living on the Heathrow flight path, trust me, few helicopters is bliss by comparison. Now, actually what I'm going to use is the thick end because I'm doing a big area, so I can just do that. There we go. Now, when it comes to the flowers, I'm actually not going to have to do a huge amount of colouring because an awful lot's going to be covered up. But what I'm using are the rich raspberry, the pink pirouette, the light daffodil delight, and the old olive. So I've got 4 pairs and a single. Now, I have recently posted, yesterday I think, a kit that I've put together, a starter kit that I've put together, where you get all the blends and a huge amount more. Oh, and here comes the rain. Just as well I put the light on. So yes, you can get all of the blends in your starter kit, and you if you bought the kit that I've put together, I think it came out at a total of almost double. Depends on whether you went for the wood or the or good heavens, it's hail. Okay. So yes, whether you went for the wood or the clear mount would depend on whether it was double your £99 investment or a little bit under that. But yes, huge amount. Now I really only need, because I'm going to cover up quite a lot of this, I really only need to colour in the outline. But I will colour in, I'll colour in all of this rich raspberry flower just so that you can see what I did on this. So you can replicate it on the other flowers, but obviously I've cut out this for my next layer. So that didn't really sound like English, but there we go. So there we are, Daffodil Delight in the middle, and I say this is the light Daffodil Delight. So then the Peekaboo Peach, no, not Peekaboo Peach, good grief, my brain. The Pink Pirouette, I'm just going to do the outside, because as I say, I've got a layer to put over the top, so I don't need to do the inside, and it will help speed things up. I do hope you can see all right, bearing in mind, as I say, we now have hailstones, so all good fun. So that's actually all I need to colour on that flower. Let's just come in and do this one. And again, that's all I need to do on that one because we're going to cover it up. Then the leaves, I just did an arbitrary, which ones am I going to have in dark old olive and which ones am I going to have in light old olive. Now, if you've only got one of the old olive pens, then just colour them all the same colour. It really is your project. If you want to use the other colours, so you've got Calypso Coral and Peekaboo Peach, then why not? That's fine too. I really cannot believe it was a lovely sunny day. and now it's miserable. So that's all good fun, isn't it? So I hope you are enjoying Sale-a-Bration. I think it is the best. Well, it is. Everybody knows it's the best promotion of the year. So yeah, make the most of it. Either get the starter kit and give that a test drive, or just make sure you put items in your basket that are multiples of £45, so you can get Sale-a-Bration items for free. Right, so that's my basket. I'm just going to tie a ribbon round. This is the crinkled seam binding in Berry Burst, which is a not dissimilar colour from the rich raspberry when you've coloured it on shimmer white cardstock. And I'm just doing my usual double bunny bow. I suppose I should say double bunny ear bow. Round the handle. As I would be if I could actually get my hands to work. There we are. Can you hear that? It's ridiculous. And now the sun's going to come out again. You'd think it was April, but there we go. Right, just get that bow vaguely neat and tidy, and you can slide it to where you want it on your handle. Just treat it with a certain amount of respect, and then just trim your tails. There we go. So that's that. Then all I'm going to do is grab some dimensionals and pop those on the back of our 3 flowers. Now this will not go through UK Post, this version won't go through UK Post as standard letter. It will be a large letter because I'm then going to put even more dimensionals on the back of this piece. 1 layer of dimensionals is fine, 2 layers is not. Right, so this is now beautifully stuck. So we can get everything stuck together. Sorry, I have a slight snuffle. Right, so back of the basket, pop some dimensionals on here. And then I'm going to have a half dimensional there. You could use your minis if you've got minis. And then to keep the handle up, I've got, again, some little bits of dimensional just from the edge that I'm going to stick on the back of the ribbon and the handle. And those will help support the handle, but will be hidden behind the ribbon. You'd think I'd planned it, wouldn't you? There are moments when I surprise myself, and I have to say this is one of them. So as far as test driving the starter kit is concerned, since the beginning of January I have had where are we now? 4, I think, new team members join, which is lovely. They're from all over the country because we can do team meetings by Facebook and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you're thinking of test driving, why not give it a go? You can sign up to my team from my website, and this is the perfect time to do that because during Sale-a-Bration you get to pick 2 free stamps of your choice from the annual or spring summer catalogue. Right, I'm taking there are 2 sentiments in this kit, in this set rather. You've got You Are Loved or Here For You. So I've got the You Are Loved. Oh, and there's also a little butterfly and a little tag, which are quite sweet too. So I've got Berry Burst ink because then it will match the ribbon. And this is just an offcut from cardstock as I've made mats. So it's just a little strip, and let's see if I can get that vaguely We'll give it another go at the other end, and then we'll pick whichever one was best. This is because I'm currently still crafting sitting down following my bout of flu. That one's better. So yes, normally when I'm standing up I get a better stamp. It means you've got a bit more manoeuvrability. So I'm just going to cut that off and then just trim this end a little bit. And then dimensionals, you'd think I had them to hand, wouldn't you? So one at each end. Yeah, you see the sun's coming out again now. Madness. And we'll just pop this down at the bottom. And then I'm just going to grab some of our basic rhinestones. Now remember, you can colour these with your blends. In this particular occasion I'm not going to. I'm going to use them as rhinestones. And I'm just going to pop a few just around. I like triangles and I like odd numbers. So I like to put a triangle round my feature, if you see what I mean. So I want people to look into this. So by having the triangle of embellishments around it, it just helps bring everything in. So there we go. That's the one with the extra layer of fussy cut flowers, and then the original. I think they are both beautiful. Bearing in mind that in the UK we are coming up to Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day. I think these would be lovely as Mother's Day cards, particularly with the "You Are Loved," and obviously you can put something, a sentiment on the inside that is appropriate for your mother. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. All the products will be listed on my website. The dimensions will be there. Say linked to joining my team by test driving the starter kit. And remember, test driving the starter kit, no pressure. If you decide you don't actually want to continue as a demonstrator and get the discount, even if it's just for you, then just stop being a demonstrator. No one's going to come around and take everything back from you. You get to hang on to what you've bought, and that's brilliant. So it's a real no pressure test drive. Hope you've enjoyed all that, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye!